Hi, welcome to a foreigner in the Philippines. Well, we had a busy day today, so lots of things changed. We were hoping to go to the adventure park with our friend Daryl, but the rain was so bad that we didn't get to go. Didn't get to go yesterday, didn't get to go today, so we had a lot more things to do, of course. So we went off and we visited and took some provisions up to the young man who's disabled. He lives in a very isolated spot in the mountains, alone, and is helped by neighbours and sometimes his relatives. Difficult situation though, but we managed to find him a walking frame which we took up there, and some provisions. We took a whole sack of rice, and so he is well prepped on having food, and it was good to see him, and he was very happy to see us, to have come back again and kept our word of promising to help. So lots of you said that he should have a doctor, and he should have this and that and the other, and yes, you're all right, you're all correct, but we are doing what we can, and that's not a huge amount right now. We've had some money sent for him. Johnny Peanut sent some money so that he could have a walking frame, and with what was left over we managed to buy some groceries, and there were some other donors as well, which I don't have the names in front of me, sorry. But anyway, that and once the adventure park was cancelled, that was a big disappointment, because Daryl and I were going to do the plunge, and whether you know what the plunge is or not, the adventure park is part on a cliff that plunges about, I think about 200 feet or more, and they tether you to a harness, and then they launch you out gradually until you're dangling out on the cliff face, and then they drop you. I'm anticipating that that's something of an adrenaline rush. So you don't actually hit anything, because they've got it carefully calculated so that another line is there to pull you away from the cliff, and you go into an arc like that, so there's no impact is felt. Nevertheless, it will take a great deal of courage from me, because I'm not good on heights, but anyway, I thought I would try it. The rewards for not taking any risks are a very boring life. That's my belief. So what else did we do? Well, we then had quite a bit of a dash around. We went into town, we bought some groceries, we bought the rice for the cripple boy, we bought a walking frame, and we bought the stuff. We've had the stuff for baby Jane in the truck, and a couple of times we just haven't been able to get round there. We did go around a few days ago, and the door was closed, everybody was out, no answer. So anyway, we got there today, and she is looking great. A lot of you said how much of an improvement it is, that she's looking stronger and has put on a little tiny bit of weight, and her hair looks thicker. Really great news. She is such a brave little girl, because she's only 7 years old. An amazing child. Tomorrow we're taking her first thing. It's on a walk-in basis, so we haven't been able to make an appointment, so we just have to go down there. We'll pick up baby Jane and take her down to the hospital, where the surgeon who first saw her will see her again, and hopefully he'll remove the cast, because she's already stomping around on that thing as it is. That little girl is unstoppable. Well, after that, what did we do? I'm looking at some of my notes here. Well, we took Daryl off to get his ferry, and we took him down there sometime around 10 o'clock, and off he went to return home. He has commitments with his church, which he likes to be ready for. So that was the trip there. So we'll do the plunge another time. That's a promise. Promise to myself, or actually it might even be a threat. So that was on, and then when we went back up to Taliban, we found our friend Dwayne has arrived back from his travels to Baguio and other places, and so we welcomed him, and along with Brian and Dwayne and Beth and myself and of course Batjoy, we went and had lunch, which was very, very nice, and we talked over things some of which were embarrassing, some of which weren't, but I can't tell you the embarrassing moment because Brian would kill me. Anyway, so right then on to buying materials for the terrible house, what we have come to know as the terrible house. We bought materials for those, loaded them into the truck so that we would get the delivery on time. It's always on time when we do the delivery because we pick up the stuff and then take it straight down there, and that's what we did. And then, with the help of Pastor Timio, who is back in action now, feeling well and fit, he took us up, right up into the mountains, high 4x4, on these very isolated roads that go up into the mountains here, to where the wood has been cut by the chainsaw crew, high in the mountains, as I keep saying, and they just cut the wood and they drop it by the side of the path. And so we were there to load that up into the truck, but it's going to take about 4 loads. So we'll be back there tomorrow after we've helped baby Jane, and we'll go and get the rest of that wood and drop it off to the site, and then they will almost be ready to move on building the house. And we think that it's going to be very fast, maybe as fast as even 3 days. That's what we would like, okay? Because we started that house, another house that we started on the leap of faith, and we will make sure that it gets finished and do what we can with what we've got, which is what we always say. So that brings us to the end of our exciting day. Boy, it would be nice to get home before dark sometimes. I think we just about did it today, but only because we didn't do another trip up into the mountains to get more wood. So that's going to be probably an entire day tomorrow that will be done by trekking up into the mountains empty, filling up the truck, riding down and taking it to the site of the terrible house, which we're hoping won't be terrible for too much longer. And that pile of trash that man has been living in will be taken down just like the leaning house was taken down. And yes, some of you who said make sure that you take that old house down because somebody else will move in there, we're not letting that happen. We've only had one family, one receiver of a house that reneged on the agreement to trash the old house, and that's pretty good out of now 24 houses. 24 house, the number 24 is on its way and will be done in a few days' time. Thanks for looking in. This is A Foreigner in the Philippines.